residents. And so Rupert wants to tell his story. He says, Matilda told me that we were going to a Christmas party and there we would have to part and go our separate ways. It was time for me to move and experience living with another family. I was sitting by myself, watching everyone playing games and enjoying their food, when they announced that it was time to pick another lucky person or couple that would take me and let me experience a different life. Well, Matilda was at the center of all attention, telling everyone of our time spent together. When she finished, it was time for her to draw a name out of the hat and see who and where I would spend the next 6 months. I heard Matilda call out the name of Mary Hasso as the lucky winner. I didn't know who she was. I was told she is an active member, but many times is unable to attend meetings or events because she works at St. Andrew Catholic Church Parish Office. Then I heard her explain, "Oh no, do I have to take him?" I thought, oh my God, what am I getting into? I began to sweat and hyperventilate. Mary Norman calmed me down. She talked to me and told me everything was going to be all right. Next thing I know, I'm being dragged to be introduced to Mary and her husband Manny. I was scared, especially since shortly after that I was stuffed back into my suitcase. At the end of the party, Miss Mary and Mr. Manny introduced me to my new home for the next 6 months and showed me to my room. I couldn't believe it. I was going to have my very own room. Wow, it had everything I dreamed of in a bedroom. There was even a television. I sat at the chair by the bed and had my picture taken. I thought, not so bad. I could get used to this. I sat around and watched TV before brushing my teeth and going to bed. Oh, it was going to be a very comfortable bed. A few days later, Miss Mary wakes up and says, "Okay, the party's over, time to get to work." I said, "What?" She said, "If Mr. Manny, who is retired, has to do work around the house, so do you. Now get up and go help paint the burglar bars." I got up, washed up, dressed, and went outside to help Mr. Manny. I went outside and Mr. Manny helped me up the ladder so that I could reach the bars and paint. The very few days I was not used to getting up early and fell asleep on the job. But Mr. Manny was understanding and patient. It took a few days, but we finally finished. Mr. Manny and I got along fine, and we had fun. He used to say to me, when she leaves the house for work, "It's party time for us." He drank his coffee, smoked his cigarette. We talked and enjoyed each other's company. He's pretty cool. Miss Mary is a little tough and demanding, but I guess Mr. Manny's used to it. Well, maybe he just lets her think that she's in control. He. They gave chores and Mr. Manny kept me busy helping him around the house. Since he is retired, he did repairs around the house, and I came along to keep his company and help. We had cold drinks during the hot day, and I even wore a little hat during the summer to keep the heat off my head. I learned a few Spanish words like dame un plátano, give me a banana, or dame una tortilla, give me a tortilla. I didn't do too bad, and I started showing off my Spanish when company came over. But when I wrote a letter with a few Spanish phrases to my friends back in the jungle, they were not impressed. They thought I was losing my guerrilla identity and told me, "Keep it real." They were just jealous. Well, before I knew it, summer had rolled around. They surprised me by telling that they were going on vacation for a month in August. We would go to Europe and Norway to spend time with her son Eric, who's living in Norway, temporarily on a job assignment. These are pictures. We went to a sightseeing and visited a Viking museum, a ski lift museum in Oslo, Norway. These pictures were taken in the ski lift museum, and since my feet were cold, they bought a pair of Norwegian booties for my feet. A Norway pin to go with my booties so that I won't forget where they came from. Not that I would. It was an awesome summer, but I was ready to come home to some real American food. We also visited Sweden, Holland, Germany, and some other places. They would not let me ride in the boat in Amsterdam because there were too many people and I could fall overboard, and I don't know how to swim. I enjoyed shopping in the various countries. They were surprised that I preferred staying at the hotel. Why not? I watched television in the room, ordered room service, and sat by the pool, had cold drinks, and watched the pretty girls. Between you and me, I got sick of eating bananas. I was ready for a change of food. climate and to get back to familiar territory. I'm glad we were just visiting. This little Chico was happy to be home. Now it is time to say goodbye to Mr. Manny and Miss Mary. I would not even dreamed of having a wonderful time with them upon first impression. Who knew? Thank you for a wonderful 6 months and the memories that will always be with me. Rupert.
Yay, Rupert! Woo!
That's gonna be a tough one to follow.
Please don't draw my name.
You'll see him working or
Asleep.
no, there is the pictures.
Okay. All going this first. You can't look.
I can't.
Look, you wouldn't know.
Okay.
You read it.
I got my eyes on, I'll read it.
Thank you. Pass his eye.
I'm glad Rupert had some experience learning some Spanish words. Becky Martinez.
¡Ay, qué chihuahua! ¡No! ¡No! You're mine.